mountain was quiet. Only a faint golden hum filled the air. Then came a man walking like he was skating on dry ground. Walter Russell slipped to the edge of the glowing chasm. He lifted his hands, palms open, the way he had done thousands of times while painting the invisible. Russell, softly, almost singing to himself,
"Come now, show me the divine pattern, not particles, not forces, just light remembering its own perfection."
Golden threads rose eagerly from the abyss, curling toward his fingers. Beautiful, nested spheres formed. Flowing curves unfolded beneath his feet like living mandalas. For a moment, it was exactly as he had always envisioned, harmonious, radiant, divine. He smiled, lost in the beauty of it. But then the spheres began to tremble. One flattened unnaturally, another collapsed inward. The perfect curves stiffened and cracked. The light scattered into brittle fragments. Refusing to hold, Russell frowned and pushed harder, pouring more of his vision into the form. The bridge fought back violently. Whole sections dissolved into shimmering dust. The light became chaotic, almost angry. Russell, frustrated now,
"No, stay with me. Hold the balance. This is how it's supposed to be."
He kept pushing, trying to force the divine symmetry he had spent his life proclaiming. The more he forced it, the worse it became. The bridge was now a mess of broken light and collapsing geometries. He stood there, hands still outstretched, breathing hard, quietly, almost broken.
"Why won't you hold? I've seen this so clearly for decades."
The mountain, vast, ancient, says,
Vision alone is not enough. Light must remember itself through resistance. You are still painting your idea of perfection.
Russell lowered his hands. For a long moment, he just stood there, staring at the failing bridge, whispering to himself,
"I've done it again, haven't I? Even here. In the real world, I painted the perfect universe while ignoring the friction, the resistance, the messiness that actually holds things together. I wanted beauty without struggle, harmony without tension."
He closed his eyes and let out a long, slow breath, softly, almost laughing at himself.
"All right, Walter, you stubborn old dreamer. Time to unlearn."
He opened his hands again, but this time he didn't push. He waited. He listened. He felt the subtle pulse coming from the mountain and the quiet resistance in the light itself. A single golden thread rose once more, hesitant, almost shy. Then another. They didn't form perfect spheres. They formed something softer, breathing, imperfect, alive. Eyes still closed, smiling gently.
"There you are. You don't want to be commanded. You want to dance with me. Then come along. I will stop leading. I know how to follow your moves."
He let the light lead the way. The bridge slowly stabilized, not as the flawless image in his mind, but as something wiser, resonant, dynamic, co-created, alive with tension and release. He opened his eyes. Tears glistened on his face, with deep wonder and humility.
"So that's what I missed all those years. I was painting the destination when I should have been learning the dance."
The bridge now stretched halfway across the chasm, imperfect, but deeply alive, pulsing with its own intelligence. From the opposite side, a sharp crackle of electricity sounded in the distance. What is that making all those sparks and sounds, Russell wonders? Both ridges now beginning to glow with gold and blue. In the vast darkness of oldest unseen realm, a mighty cosmic storm suddenly appears. Brilliant lightning of pure creation tears through the void, lighting the shadows of the spectral realm for the first time in the longest time. Nikola Tesla, now crackling blue plasma like living electricity, stood alone at the edge of unformed potential in the spectral gap. Tesla, talking to himself, pacing with intense energy.
Resonance. High-frequency fields. Non-Hertzian waves. If I shape the field correctly, the bridge must form. I have done this before. I have sent power through the earth itself. This cannot be different.
He worked the entire puzzle in his mind again and again, visualizing every phase relationship, every possible frequency, every interference pattern. His ideas formed, flickered, and sparked with each mental calculation. Tesla starts to mutter.
The conductivity is there. The resonance should hold. Why does the field keep collapsing?
He extended his will. Brilliant arcs of blue lightning surged from him, forming a bridge of pure electricity across the void. It conducted magnificently for a moment, raw power mirroring his genius. Then it shattered. He tried again, stronger, faster, more resonant. The bridge reappeared, glowing with beautiful plasma arcs, mirroring his lifelong obsession with invisible forces. It twisted, warped, and dissolved into chaos. Tesla, frustrated voice rising.
What am I missing? The logic eludes me. I can command the lightning. I can send energy without wires. Why will this realm not hold?
He poured more of himself into it, again and again. Each attempt more brilliant, each failure more spectacular. His ethereal body crackled with static, his thoughts manifesting as visible lightning storms around him. The mountain, vast, ancient, calm voice echoes.
Because here power alone cannot protect memory.
Tesla paused, breathing heavily, but his intensity remained. Tesla, talking to himself, more determined.
Geometry. Yes. But I will not abandon the field. The field and the geometry must become one. The wave must carry its own memory.
He slowed down. He let the non-Hertzian waves breathe. Instead of forcing raw power, he shaped the electromagnetic field into a self-reinforcing geometric pattern, a living mirror of both electricity and form. Slowly, carefully, he wove his electric currents into the sacred geometry of the realm. The bridge began to form again, this time glowing with both brilliant blue plasma and golden geometric lines. It held, it strengthened, it remembered its own shape.
There, the field and the form, working as one mirror.
At that exact moment, from the other end of the completed bridge, an ethereal figure approached, bald, with a wise, glowing presence and a shorter, white, V-shaped goatee.
Drusel, is that really you, old friend?
Walter Russell and Nikola Tesla stand together after coming across different bridges on the high plateau of the newfound spectral land. Below them stretches the spectral memory protectors, vast, luminous plateaus of projectors floating in the infinite dimensional Hilbert space. These are not mere mathematical objects. They are living, geometric forms, eternal in their subspace identity, yet capable of smooth transport across the Grassmannian. Russell, with his eyes that saw light as the primal language of creation, recognizes them immediately.
These are the true atoms, not the little particles. These are the divine patterns, the persistent spectral forms that remember. The individual eigenstates come and go like sparks, but the projector remains. It is the memory of the form itself.
Tesla, standing with his characteristic intensity, watches the virtual transitions flickering like lightning between the occupied and unoccupied bands. He sees the cross-gap currents, the only real carriers of information and phase.
The memory is not in the wire. It is in the field geometry between the wires. These projectors, they are my non-Hertzian waves made visible in mathematics. The coherence does not live in the electron. It lives in the shape of the subspace and how slowly that shape is allowed to change.
They look at the intrinsic quantum metric on the space of projectors, the measure of how much work it costs to move the projector. Russell smiles.
Here is the true resistance, not electrical resistance, geometric resistance. When the metric is small, the form is rigid, memory is protected. When the metric is large, near the nodes, the form becomes fluid. But even then, the curvature is leashed by the metric itself. The phase cannot run wild. There is always the safeguard of the sine of the angle.
Tesla nods, seeing the optimized inequality as a kind of cosmic governor.
The curvature, the phase memory, cannot exceed what the metric allows. It is as if the universe itself enforces a geometric speed limit on how wildly memory can twist. This is why some forms remember across time, while others dissolve. It is not mysticism. It is projector dynamics.
They walk further. In the distance, they see the gap-closing regions, the places where the energy gap approaches zero. Russell points to the regularization with the small imaginary term.
Even at the edge of dissolution, the form does not disappear into chaos. It becomes resonant. The Lorentzian profiles, they are the mathematical expression of eternal recurrence in finite time. The memory does not die. It transforms into a standing wave of virtual transitions.
Tesla looks back at the ridge they came from, the ridge of conventional physics, where people still speak of individual eigenstates persisting or decohering.
They are looking in the wrong place, he says. They chase the sparks. But the memory protectors are the plateaus. The space of all possible projectors is the true map of persistence. Dr. Ali and Professor Ragnar spoke of deep correspondences between number and form. Here the correspondence is between spectral geometry and enduring coherence. The projector is both the number and the form at once.
Then this is the new octave, the octave of spectral memory. The law is simple. Memory is the resistance of the projector to unnecessary motion. Coherence is the curvature that remains when motion is minimal. Protection is the metric itself.
Tesla smiles for the first time.
Then we have work to do. Because if memory lives in the geometry of subspaces, then we can engineer it. We can design driving protocols that are geodesics on the space of projectors. We can also build machines whose coherence is geometrically shielded, not just electrically isolated.
They stand in silence for a while, watching the projectors drift like luminous continents across the space of all possible states, each one carrying its own memory, each one protected by the invisible metric that measures the cost of forgetting. Russell finally speaks.
The old laws were written in particles and forces. The new laws are written in projectors and their transport. We have only just arrived at the shore.
Tesla looks out over the land one last time.
Then let us begin mapping it.
As they continue to map well far beyond the Grassmannian plateaus, where the projector continents drift through spectral oceans, two new bridges begin to form. One is woven from silver standing waves. The other is built from flashing transitions that appear and vanish before the eye can fully grasp them. The bridges approach slowly from opposite horizons.
More travelers, it appears.
Nikola Tesla, slowly looking toward them.
Yes, here come some of our familiar old arguments.